Aliens, Monsters, and the Supernatural. A true story of a terrorized life. You are now listening to Mac and Creeps. No need to adjust your volume.
We will do it for you.
The move to town in 1994 was an exciting time for me personally. I was 9 years old, and the farm was the only home I had ever known. I was sad about leaving the farm, but the sense of adventure outweighed the nostalgia. We had no choice but to move. My family was utilizing government subsidies to help pay rent on the house, and eventually the home was too old to pass yearly inspections. My parents found an apartment in town. The apartment was in a complex that had 3 bedrooms, but we were forced to cram into a 2-bedroom while waiting on a 3-bedroom to come open. On the last trip from the farm, I checked under the vehicle to see if the little monster was hiding. I also watched the house as we drove away, making sure he did not follow us. I was very hopeful I would not see him again, but if I had known what would be replacing him, I might have not been so hopeful for his loss. It was absolutely exhilarating to be living in town. There were several kids my age in the neighborhood. I made friends very quickly. Another amazing upside was central air. I was amazed by going inside on a hot summer day and immediately being comforted by air conditioning. We moved into the apartment around June of 1994. I don't even have to fact check this, because I remember the biggest, most expensive birthday gift I had ever gotten. It was a brand new $49 bicycle. I received it a couple of months after we moved, as an early birthday gift. I believe my parents purchased the bike early because they wanted to get it while they had money. My father's work was seasonal and would slow down around October. The new bike was bittersweet. I had never ridden a brand new bike. It moved so smooth on the pavement. The bitter part was my older brother Rob. He was very close to me in age. I felt so much guilt inside, seeing Rob ride with me on the recently shared clunker. It didn't bother Rob though. He wanted me to have the new bike as much as I wanted him to have one. Another reason I remember the time of year we moved is because a memory shared with my family. This was one of our first few nights in town. It was just my father, mother, Rob, and myself. We were all getting settled for bed, and we were surprised by loud booms. We all panicked. It was obviously gunshots. The city was a wild place to us. My father made everyone get down on the floor. "Stay below the windows," he said. We laid as flat as possible as we heard one gunshot after another. My father crawled over to the window. "Be careful," my mother said. My brother and I were talking about what a mistake it was moving to town. My father said, "I see someone standing outside." Another gunshot sounded off. "It's fireworks," my father said. We all got up and looked out the window. The fireworks were off in the distance, but we could still see them. The county fair was in town, and they were doing a fireworks show that night. That might give you an example of how long my family spent in the solitude of farm life. My family still talks about that night, and we get a good laugh from it. We had spent so much time in isolation on the farm, we imagined town to be like the movies, I guess. I do remember my childhood very well. I also remember another one of the first few nights in the apartment. This would be the first horrifying assault I received in town. I'm feeling pretty brave in the new apartment. It's been a few days and nothing unusual has happened. I feel like the little monster has no way of getting to me. I think about how he must have been fooled and thought we would be coming back. Now he doesn't know where to find me. I tell my parents good night and I go climb into bed with my siblings. In the room we share, there is a full-size bed and pallets in the floor. I fall asleep on the bed with my two older brothers. I open my eyes. I must have been asleep for only a few hours. There is some light coming in the room from the hallway. I can hear the central air blowing in the house. The sound is comforting. I feel like I might fall back to sleep, but before I can fully drift away, the air conditioning shuts off. The comforting sound is replaced by my family breathing. I'm hoping the AC kicks back on soon, before I hear something I don't want to. The air doesn't kick on soon enough. I'm startled by movement from the closet door. The bed is in the corner of the room against the wall and next to the doorway. The closet door of interest is in the corner opposite of where I am lying. I stand up enough in the bed to reach the light switch on the wall. I flip the switch, and the room lights up. I keep my hand on the switch. Once I realize the light is not waking my siblings, I leave it on and lie back down. The closet doors are tall and match the white walls. They are bifold doors on rails and made of thin metal. There are 2 folding doors total. Each door has a knob. When the knob is pulled on, it allows the door to be folded in on itself. Both doors had been completely shut before bed, but now one is slightly open. The door is folded just enough to create a gap in the fold. I can see into the open part of the closet. Boxes and a few other things lie on the floor, some clothes on hangers. I'm trying to see through the gap in the door, but the gap is too dark to see into. I keep staring at the closet door. I feel like there is something watching me through the gap of the folded door. Something appears on the outside of the closet. It's transparent and barely visible. I am seeing a transparent humanoid, maybe 3 feet tall. It has no features at all. It has the same outline as a test dummy or a mannequin. The humanoid has its arms out. It's pushing against the slightly open closet door. I am not feeling afraid of the humanoid. It doesn't even appear to be tangible. And I'm wondering if I'm just seeing things. I stare into the gap of the folded door again. I lose focus of the little transparent mannequin as I have a stare down with whatever is in the closet. I can't see it, but I know something is in there. The closet door moves suddenly, opening and then closing. It opens just enough to be slid back shut, making a loud boom every time. It sounds like the thin metal is getting jammed against something when it opens. When the door folds back shut, it bangs against the stopper. The door goes on like this for 10 seconds. No one is waking up. I am lying frozen in fear on the bed. The door finally stops. It's resting in the halfway open position. The loud booms are replaced by my siblings' steady breathing. I see the short, transparent humanoid again, but now there are two of them. They are both pushing against the closet door now. I look back at the dark gap of the folded door. It is no longer a feeling, but a certainty now. I know there's something in there. I stand up on the bed slowly. My eyes stay locked on the closet. It starts again. The closet door bangs open and then closed 2 more times. This time when it stops, I run off the bed and out of the room. I run into my parents' room. I hop over both of my parents. Their bed is against the wall. I squeeze my body between my mother and the cold, dry wall. Not one person has been woken up by the slamming door. I lie sandwiched between my mother and the wall. I don't hear another sound from the other room. I wonder about the transparent figures. I have never seen anything like them. I wonder why I didn't feel afraid of them as well. After my adrenaline wears off, I finally fall asleep. I believe whatever was in the closet that night will remain a mystery, at least in this life. As for the transparent humanoids that seem to be holding the closet door from opening, I would see them for the next few years, day or night. A room full of people or me alone. At any time I felt curious about the invisible mannequins, all I had to do was focus a moment, and soon they would come into focus. It could be 1 or 2 or a whole gang of them. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Mac and Creeps, and we will continue in the next video. Thank you.